Hello, everyone. My name is Irina, and I am a campus manager of Wittenborg University in Amsterdam. Also, I'm a process tutor. If you don't know who is a process tutor, this is a person who helps the student during their studies. Also, today is my colleague Ashen, who is representing the admission team. And also, we have two more students who are helping us and who are willing to share their experience with you. One student is Kavinga. She is doing a bachelor program in logistics and trade. And another student is Nicholas. He is doing a bachelor program in entrepreneurship and small businesses. So let's start. If you have any questions, please send this or type these questions into the chat box, and my colleague will will answer some of them during my presentations, and also some of them we will answer during Q&A session. Q&A sessions, they will be after each session. I know that many of you think how is it going with the corona situation in the world and also here in the Netherlands. How do we run the classes and how is everything working right now? So I would like to give maybe good news that it's getting better and better here in the Netherlands. And from the 1st of June, we are slowly getting back on track. We reopen our locations. The students will still stay at home and they will keep studying online. But they also can come to our campuses by appointments if they want to see the process tutors or they would like to see the teachers or any other staff members. And also from the 1st of September, or not from the 1st exactly, but when we start our program, it will be the end of August. The classes will be partly online, partly physical. So for the students who would like to come into the classroom, they can come, and for the rest, they can follow the classes online. So for those of you who would like to start with us but still cannot come, this can be a good option as well. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about Wittenberg University. So I'll give you general information. Who are we and where do we have our locations as well. After we will follow with entry dates and programs. Of course, the most important section is employability, because everyone is curious to know how is it going to be after my graduation or what can I get during my studies. After employability, we will talk about study experience and student accommodation. And the last session will be about admission procedure and tuition fees. So as I mentioned earlier, please leave your questions in the chat box. And also, if you see that some of your questions will be answered, let's say you have a question about admissions, please keep your question until the last part. So first you will see what we are saying, and if we didn't reply to your message, then you can ask us again. All right? So let's move. Let's hold on. So about our university, we have over 100 nationalities studying at Wittenborg, which make us very, very diverse. So the students are coming from different countries. You can see which countries, yeah. So the same about our staff members. We have staff members from over 40 countries. And for example, here in Amsterdam, we have one of our teachers, and he's also our project week coordinator. He is actually Dutch. I'm originally from Ukraine. Another staff member is from Indonesia, from Nepal, from Uganda, and also from China. So you can see that we all are different, and the same about the students. So you will feel you're comfortable because everyone is different and everyone has something to share. We have two campuses located in Apeldoorn, and these two campuses, we call it main campus, they are located on two ways or two sides of the train station. It's only 1 hour by train to Amsterdam, and it's right in the center of the Netherlands. The city is very green and very safe. Almost everyone speaks English. So if you don't speak Dutch, and most students, of course, they don't speak Dutch, you will not have any problems. Also, we have the majority of the students in Apeldoorn. You can see in the pictures how they're sitting in the class. And in the picture where we have so many students, it's one of the project weeks when they listen to the presenters. Most of the time, we don't have that many students in one class. It's maximum 20. Yeah. The city of Apeldoorn, as I mentioned, is very green, and of course, for everyone who is coming, who would like to stay in a peaceful place, you can enjoy this city. You will find different parks and also clubs. We have them as well, shops, different kind of entertainments. So you will not be bored in Apeldoorn. In Amsterdam, we also have one campus. It's located in the heart of the business city. Yes, it was a purpose to be located in the business building. So our students who are doing the bachelor program in entrepreneurship and small businesses, they will be surrounded by entrepreneurs, by small and big businesses. They can approach them anytime, and also they can get this feeling how it feels to be in this business area. Also, this campus is just within a walking distance to the train station, and it can bring you to the center of Amsterdam. Of course, it's close to Schiphol. It's only 20 minutes by train, and Amsterdam is big city, so you will find whatever you wish. And also, we don't really have that many students in Amsterdam because, as I mentioned, we have only one program which is running, and we are opening a few more. So the students, they know each other, they get the family feeling in our campus. They can approach, but of course in Apeldoorn it works the same way. Just in Amsterdam it's a bit smaller. Of course, if you heard about Amsterdam earlier, or if you didn't hear, please research to know what is it about, what can you find in this city. Of course, lots of museums, canals, different activities, and it's nice, just a nice city. Many students, they don't really know which city they would like to go to, and they ask us this question quite often. What I can say, please first, of course, think about the program which you would like to follow. And if this program is in Apeldoorn, then of course go to Apeldoorn. But if you don't really know exactly which program you would like to follow, and you would just hesitate in between these two cities, then my advice for those who prefer to stay in a quiet place, of course, in safe place. But the Netherlands is a country which is safe anyway. But in smaller city, to be closer to the students, to be closer to the accommodation, to the campus, then of course go to Apeldoorn. And if you are more outgoing person, you would like to spend time a lot of time outside, then of course go to Amsterdam. It always depends on your preferences. Yeah. I'm going to play a short video about our university so you can get a feeling how it looks like and what we have. 1 second.
우리는 위텐보르크입니다.
विटेनबर्गमा तपाईहरुलाई स्वागत छ।
म Amsterdam Wittenborg.
Awane Wittenborg.
Kami Wittenborg.
Nango Wittenborg.
我们是 Wittenborg.
Мы Wittenborg.
Камиан Wittenborg. Naomi Wittenborg.
Sissini Wittenborg. Trevor Wittenborg.
हम Wittenborg हैं।
Biz Wittenborgos.
Wij zijn Wittenborg.
Kami Wittenborg.
Mi vagyunk Wittenborg.
نحن ويتنبورغ.
Grazie Wittenborg.
We are Wittenborg Amsterdam. We are Wittenborg Vienna. We are Wittenborg.
So I hope you got a bit of feeling how it feels here and how it looks like. Just a small video, just a part of our life. So why Wittenborg, or what is what is good about Wittenborg? Yeah, what is beneficial for you? Even though we are private university, we are not that young. We are more than 30 years old. We got the accreditation. It's national and international, so no problem. You will get your diploma. Everything will be fine. For all our bachelor students, a part of the program is internship. We support the students and we help them to be prepared for their future life after the university. But about the internships, we will talk about later. We'll talk later. Also, all our programs, all the communications, everything is in English. So no worries. You will always find your way to communicate with us and, of course, to get your questions answered. As you could see, we are very international. Of course, we have Dutch students. Of course, we have Dutch staff members, but still 90% of us are international. Accommodation, which is very important for you guys as your international students. We will talk about it a bit later, but just a small remark. Yes, we provide accommodation to the students who are studying in Apeldoorn, but in Amsterdam, we just support you in your way to find accommodation. Also, we have 6 intakes per year, which is very, very beneficial, especially during this situation with Corona. So you can join us 6 times a year, and you can graduate also 6 times a year. We are located in different cities, as I mentioned, and even though we have our university in the Netherlands, we also work with universities in two other cities, Snack and 1 second, sorry guys, I forgot. Yes, it's Bad Oslo and Munich. If you would like to study in these cities, you can contact these universities directly, or you can also contact our admission team. They will give you more details about this. All of us, all our staff members, we are very open and we support the idea to have a personal approach, because we all are different. Even so, we are coming from different countries. Of course, we have different cultures. Still, we are all people. We are alive. We have emotions. We have our worries, and we are here to help you. We have an open door policy, which means that we don't close the doors in our offices. You're always welcome to come to ask your questions. If you would like to talk to your teacher or to talk to your process tutor, you can always make an appointment with them, and they will be more than happy to assist you. Also, normally the bachelor program lasts 4 years, but we offer also a fast track, which is 3 years. So you can complete your bachelor program from 3 years and longer. It depends on how good you are doing. It can be a bit longer, it can be indeed 3 years. But of course, many students prefer to choose fast track. Also, compared to some countries like in the UK or United States or even Canada, we have affordable education. So I think this is a good benefit, right? And we link the theory to practice. So from the first day you join us, you start your practical assignments. About them, we will talk a bit later as well, and our students will share their experience. So more exciting things are coming. And for now, for this introduction session, we can get your questions answered if we have some. So my colleague Yanti, do we have any questions?
Hi, Irina. I think
Yes.
the question they put is for the next section.
Right.
But if you can maybe explain, we have Apeldoorn and Amsterdam.
Yes.
Is the classroom set up or the employee service will be different, the class setting, or is it the same, just different location?
No, everything is the same. No worries. I will explain later how the programs are running and the structure of the program. So you will see that there is no difference, just the location. It is the city and the program itself. What kind of models you're learning, you're attending later when you're on phase 2 or phase 3. But it's coming later, so I will get back to this question. Yeah?
Sure. I think we can move on to the next session.
All right, then let's move to the next session. So our unique block system, right? As I mentioned, we are happy to welcome you 6 times a year. It's September, October, December, February, April, and May. And of course, because you can join us 6 times a year, you can graduate also 6 times a year. How does it work, and why do we have so many intakes? So we have a block system. It's a bit different. So we don't have semesters, as maybe some of you got used to. We have blocks. In total, we have 8 blocks, but 6 intakes. So if you see in the picture, we have block 1, block 2, block 3, block 5, block 6, and 7. When we have normal classes running, And in block 4 and 8, we have no classes at all. These blocks only for the retakes. So in case if you failed one of your exams or your assignments, no worries, you can always retake them in block 4 or 8. If you have no retakes left, then you're free to have your holidays, vacation, go somewhere, spend time with your friends. Yeah, and each block is unique. So when you join, it can be, you can join in April, right? Or you can join in October. So when you join, first 2 weeks you have lesson weeks. Normally the students have 3-4 different modules or classes in different words. So you attend these classes. After you have one project week, after the project week, again, you have 2 lesson weeks. And after you have your assessment week. So during this assessment week, you complete your assignments or you have to go for the exams. And the assignments and the exams, they will be based only on these modules that you were studying during this particular block. So when you are done, you complete your assignments, your exams, you move to next block, again, new modules, again, the same system, and by the end, you again complete your assignments and exams. I would like to ask Kavinga, as she joined in block 3, not in block 1 or we got used to. So she joined in block 3, and she can share her experience if she is here, because I can. She's here. She can tell how it feels, and did she experience any problems joining in the middle of the year? So Kavinga, please. And maybe introduce yourself also again.
Mm-hmm. So my name's Kavinga. I come from Sri Lanka, and this is my final year at Wittenborg. As Verna mentioned, I started my studies during block 3. But due to the rolling intake, it's not like I missed any of my classes prior, because I just catch up with it in the next blocks. There's no delay to your study because of the block system, because even if you missed block 1 and 2, you still finish the year in block 3, so you catch up with the modules as you go on. And with the retake blocks, that's really helpful as well, because if you fail a subject, there's no delay to your studies. You just continue on with the blocks and you retake the modules when you have to.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And also what is important to mention is that we don't have the modules continuous, right? So let's say when you go to high school, let's say you have some classes of math. So you learn something first, and after you have you move to the next level, and after to the next level. Here we have the separated modules every block. So when you're done with this one, you move to another block and different models, absolutely different models. So you will not experience it. Oh, okay, maybe I missed something before and I don't know what they're talking about now. You will not have it, so no worries. We got many good feedbacks from our students regarding the block system, that it's very convenient, and also you don't spend that much time on one model learning. Yep. About our programs, because of course you might be curious what kind of programs we have and how we run them. So for the programs, you can see the list of them. You can choose, of course, one of them. But if you think that maybe it's not exactly what I wanted to do, you can always switch to another one, which our students sometimes do. Yeah. Also, we have top-up final year programs, which means that if you already completed 2 or 3 years of bachelor program back home or in the university here in the Netherlands, you can be a transferred student. So you can just join to the final year of the bachelor program at Wittenborg. And you will graduate and you will receive a diploma from Wittenborg as well. For 2 programs with the stars, you can see it here, it's hospitality management and entrepreneurship small businesses. we have a double degree option, which means that you will receive 2 diplomas from the Wittenborg University and also from the University of Brighton in the UK. You don't have to pay any extra money, nothing like this. You just follow these programs, you attend the classes from the Brighton teachers, they come, or you can go to visit them there. It depends on the program. And by the end of your program, you have to write 2 theses. It's challenging. Most of the students, they choose one thesis, one topic, but for 2 different universities, so they just adjust the thesis and they complete it, but still it's very challenging, so be ready to work hard. Also, we get the questions, okay, let's assume I choose hotel hospitality service management. What am I going to do when I graduate? Am I going to be a cleaning lady, or am I going to work at the reception, or am I going to do something else? For all our programs, you will get a management level. So of course, you will know how to run the businesses, how to manage people in specific field. Of course, you will know how to provide the services. You will know how to work with different cultures in different countries. Everything what the manager needs to know. This is a part, or not part, but like the direction of our programs, management and level, and that is why a business school. Yeah. For the programs, as I said, we have a fast track possibility. So you can choose, you can follow your program for 4 years, or if you want, you can try, or yeah, of course, you can try to complete your bachelor program within 3 years. It's also possible, and I think maybe 95 or even more percent of our students prefer to choose a 3 years program. As you can see, all students, they start in the same pathway, and they study the same modules. Doesn't matter, it's in Apeldoorn, it's in Amsterdam, they have all the same modules. Yeah. When you go to your year 2 or phase 2, you already follow your specialization, and you have already specific modules for your program. And when you're already in phase 3, or your final year, top up here, then you have to complete your internship. This is mandatory, which is nice as well. And you write your thesis. Regarding your questions, guys, if there is any difference between the campuses, no, there is no difference between the campuses, just the program here in Amsterdam more for the students who would like to open their business, or who have family business, or they would like to work in small companies or middle-sized companies. And in Apeldoorn, we have the rest of the programs. Also, of course, we have the same system. I mean, the same classrooms, the same desks, everything is the same. The number of students is just smaller in the Amsterdam campus, because we have specifically this program and not many programs in Apeldoorn. But the teachers, some teachers, they teach also in Apeldoorn, and they come here to Amsterdam. And during the Corona situation, teachers provide the classes online, and one teacher can teach all the locations as well. So doesn't matter which location you choose, it will be the same quality of the education, no worries. Also, for all our students, it's mandatory to choose a second foreign language. We will get back to this topic a bit later as well, and we will explain why exactly you have to speak another language English we do not consider a second language because this is for us less home or mother language. Of course, we come from different countries, and if you have any if you're insecure about your English or your pronunciation, don't worry. I came as a student to the Netherlands as well. I was worrying a bit as well. But when you hear that everyone is speaking English and everyone has his or her own accent, but still you can understand everyone, everything will be all right. No worries, guys. Also, the last point, if you would like to join to the top up year, the final year, you have to have at least 160 credits to be a transferred student. No, sorry, technical problem. Yes. So we are moving to the next. What are the requirements? Yeah. So of course you have to have your high school diploma and IELTS or equivalent to IELTS with a grade 6.0. If you are top up final year program students, then 160 European credits and also IELTS certificate. But also more about the requirements you will hear in the admission session, because I assume that some of you might have questions about English, and if you're coming from different countries, all these questions will be answered later. Yes. So for the students, when you join or when you're planning to join, you might be curious, of course, what kind of models am I having? How do I know when I have what? And with this block system, which models we have in which block? How it looks like. We explain everything during the introduction days, because before your intake, before you arrive here to the Netherlands, I mean, when you arrive, before the start of your studies, we have introduction days when we explain how everything works at the university, where you can find what, how to find which model you have when, what kind of assessment you have. For each program, we have its own curriculum, and I would like to ask Kavinga to share how it works, how she can find the modules in her curriculum, and also explain based on one module what kind of assessment she had and how did it go. Yeah, Kavinga, can you explain, please?
Yeah. So if you look at the curriculum, you can see that it's divided into years, phases, and then you get the blocks. So if you look at block 1, for example, in the first year or in the first wave, you got accounting and bookkeeping and intercultural management. But if you follow the 4-year pathway, you'd have administrative in your second year. All of these modules are a type 1 exam, and this means that they are written exams. You go to the exam hall at the university and you write the exam. But if you look at, for example, sociology, which is in block 5, it is a type 1 exam, type 2 exam. And a type 2 exam is basically an academic paper or an essay, for example, where you submit it.
Oh, she disappeared. Okay, then I will explain. Okay, if you see the exam type 2, then it means that you have your assignment, you have to write it at home, or you have the presentation, so you go to class and you present. So if you see, or if you look at your curriculum, you can see that we have different columns, right? We have year, we have phase, block, what kind of modules, code, lessons, hours, examination type, and credits. So when you see the column with block, you can see, okay, for block 5, we have these modules. For block 6, with number 6, of course, you have these modules, and so on. And for the examination type, of course, you also see what kind of assessment you have for each module. And here you see, this is for phase 1. And if you look at this one, it's already for phase 2, it's different colors, and phase 3. So for each year, when you join, you receive already the list of modules until the end of your studies. Kevin is back. nice to see you back. Yes, and now we move to the curriculum of entrepreneurship and small businesses. As I mentioned earlier, for these students, most of them, they have some business ideas or family businesses. However, not all of them. So please, Nicholas, share, is it necessary to have your business idea already? And do you get any support, or yes, how does it work for you with the curriculum, with the classes, with your future business?
Yeah, so first, hello guys. I'm Nicholas. I'm in the first year. So no, not at all. You don't need a business idea when you go there. I haven't had one neither. But when you get there, you get like in a bubble of entrepreneurs, and like you learn a way of thinking, and you get like new filter on your eyes basically, and you start to see new opportunities. So it's like a pretty inspirational environment, and the teachers and the modules are very supportive. So if you want to create your own business, it's really a good environment for you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, Nicholas, he's from Germany, just so you know that we're from different countries. And also this one is for second and third year of entrepreneurship small businesses. So you see, you already have the models. And if you have questions about specific programs that we didn't show the curriculums here, but you would like to follow these programs, you can also request our admissions to share the curriculums, so you will see the models for each program. Yeah. Questions? Do we have any questions?
Yes. So Sabnam is asking, aren't there any prerequisite courses which, if you miss, will cause a problem if you start later in the academic year? So if students decided to start not in September and August, will they miss any classes?
No, you will not miss any classes. As I explained, we have a block system, and each block is unique. We don't repeat the classes, or we don't have the extensions of the classes, right? So anytime you join, you just learn specific models. You're done with them, you move to the next block, and you learn new models again. So you will not miss anything when you join in block 2 or 3 or 5 or 6. I know it might sound a bit complicated, and you might be curious how it works, but everything is taken care of. So you can join any block and you will not experience any problems. You will join, you will have your classmates, and you will move with them. They will attend the classes with you for the first time again, and it will be a new experience for everyone. So it's the same. Yep.
Okay, so Sapnap, if you want to start later in a year, you will not miss any classes like Irina has explained. Another question from Sa, sorry if I mispronounce your name. He's asking about the Dutch courses. Is it mandatory?
No, we have a second language, which is mandatory, but it's not necessary to choose exactly Dutch. So you can choose a different language. It can be German or Spanish or French or Chinese. But yes, second language, indeed, it's mandatory. However, if you join as a top-up student, so you're doing your final year, then you don't have to follow the language class. It's only for first and second year students. No?
Okay, thank you, Irina. I think that's all the question for this section. I think mostly for the next one about the career services. So you can go on with the presentation, Irina.
All right. Thank you. So, employability. Of course, when you come as a student, you think, what will I get from the university? Will the university help me to find a job? What will I learn? How it will help? You think of every possibility, of every chance you can get here. In this session, we will explain how we support you and what you can expect from us. So, guest lecture. This is the first point we are going to discuss, and I would like Kavinga, please, can you explain who are guest lecturers and maybe one of the examples that you attended the lecture as a guest lecture. How did it go? Who was this person and what did you learn?
Mm-hmm. So during one of my modules, which was corporate entrepreneurship, we had the sales director of Royal Talents, which is a company that deals with art supplies, which is really famous here in the Netherlands. They had to come to our lecture and they introduced the whole concept to us. And they said that they have issues with managing the sales of their mature products. So the class then turned into kind of a consultancy session where we would advise them on what they could do to enhance creativity and enhance the sales of their products.
Okay, and what was new to you? Did you like it? What did you learn? Yeah, what did you learn from this guest lecture?
I think the main thing that we learned was that if you apply it to what we had to do in terms of generating sales for mature products, we learned a lot about the theory of it, but we never had any real life practical experience. So it was good for us to be able to adapt that theory into a practical situation.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas. And also maybe you can give one of the examples as you're a student from the Amsterdam campus. So did you have guest lectures and how did it go?
Yeah, so one interesting guest lecture was Hamid Zafai. He wrote several successful leadership books, and it was really interesting to see his perspective on things. Yeah, it was like a topic that really gives you a deeper understanding of entrepreneurship, and also like for me, personal development. It's really interesting. So yeah, it all fits together, and it's like something you like to go there because you learn something for your personal life.
Did you feel free to ask any questions during the lecture?
Yeah, of course. Like it was pretty interactive, and it is also nice.
Okay, thank you. So as you see, we have guest lectures. So we have just regular models, and for these models, we invite guest lecturers, people from different industries. They come and they share their own experience. And also, each block we have project weeks. I already mentioned it earlier. So this is 1 week. We divide students into small groups, and every time it's a new group. So the students, they work with different people, with different cultures, with different mindsets, I can say. We invite companies representatives to our campuses, or our students go to visit the companies. They work on the issues that these companies have. They have to find a solution and to present it. We have these project weeks for running for big companies and also small companies. So it's always a different experience. So also, I think it will be interesting to hear what Kavinga can say, at least one example about project week. How did it go for you? What you learned, and did you go to the company? The company representatives came. Yes.
Yeah. So one of the recent project weeks we had was based on sustainable business practice. And what we did was we went to visit a company. It was a local company called Phoenix, and they deal in recycling. So we visited the company. We spoke to one of the shop floor individual workers there. And at the end, what we delivered was a report based on what we had learned about sustainable practices and what this company could do to further improve their environmental impact.
Okay, and so besides the report, you also had any presentations? Yeah, how does it work? The structure of the project week.
Exactly. So you're divided into groups of maybe 4 or 5 people, and you're always in a group with individuals from a different country. So you get like multiple perspectives, and it's really interesting. And once you submit your report, you've got a presentation at the end of the week. And this is also really helpful because as a business student, in the field, you have to be able to present properly, and you get really helpful feedback from that as well, and you improve your public speaking skills. So it's really helpful overall.
Okay, thank you. Nicholas, can you share your experience? How did it go for you?
Yes, last project week we had was a company named AI Captain, and the founder came to our campus. So it's basically a company that teaches people the core principles of artificial intelligence, AI, and deep learning. And he struggled with a marketing strategy, so he came to us, and we had the opportunity to create a whole marketing strategy for him. And also we should take a video which he can use as advertisement. And it was pretty nice because the winner group got an AI course for free. So, and the whole overall experience was also pretty, yeah, it's cool if you work with real companies together and you learn stuff in their way of thinking. I would say that's the main part of project weeks.
Yes, I also find it very exciting when I see our students, how they're excited here, walking around, and every time when we have, because we have 6 project weeks every year, and every time it's a new project, new case, and new experience for the students. They're excited to see who is coming, what kind of companies and what kind of problems these companies have and what they can suggest. And previously we worked with the city hall here in Amsterdam and with the attraction park in the center of the Netherlands, and also with the port in Rotterdam, and with startups also. So it's always different experience. Yeah, you can always learn something new every block. So as I mentioned, you just come, you start with the classes, you have guest lectures who's coming sharing the experience, and you have project week every block. So you apply your knowledge, what you learned, and you share your cultural experience as well with the rest of the students. Yeah, one of the most important things also is language, because here in the Netherlands, but not only here in the Netherlands, internationally, it's a good point for you for a young professional to speak not only your native language or English, because almost everyone here speaks English, and it will not be a surprise, for your future company when you write I speak English. No, it's always good when you have some knowledge, basic or maybe intermediate or it's advanced level of second language. That is why we really encourage our students to learn second language. We not only encourage, but of course we encourage, but it's also mandatory for first and second year. You can choose any language you wish from the list, and if you already have some level, let's assume you have already beginners, and you can choose intermediate level. And for each model, for each language, we have to have minimum 5 students in the class. So it can be interactive and interesting. And Karinka, can you share which language did you choose and how did it go in terms of the classes?
So when I started studying beginner Dutch, and I went all the way and I finished with advanced. So I did intermediate and advanced as well. With beginner Dutch, I thought initially, really challenging because it's a completely new language. But the lecturers here are very approachable, so I think you benefit a lot from having such approachable lectures. And the classes are also really interactive, so you always get an opportunity to participate in class, and that's really important with languages because, speaking the language, trying out the grammar and stuff is really important. Overall, it's been really useful for me as well, living in the Netherlands, being able to speak a bit of Dutch to get around. It's been really useful.
That's nice. Thank you. So we're moving to the next slide. Personal development. So when I was showing you the curriculums, you could see that our students have PDP or personal development plan. This is taught during your first year and also during your second year. We have seminars, and you can see the list of the seminars for phase 1 and for phase 2. We offer different seminars, or we can say also like workshops. You can choose a few of them. You don't have to follow all of them. But of course, we encourage the students to come, to attend all of them and to see, to learn something new for yourself, because of course we have some experience previously. We worked in teams before, right? But how does it work here in different environment? So you can learn during team building seminar, or we have project management game when you learn how to work on projects, and you have some kind of games. So I will ask Nicholas, which seminar did you attend, and what did you learn? What did you like about this seminar?
So for me, the most interesting was presenting skills. You learn there basically how to present properly and general techniques for public speaking. And for me, it was so exciting because I kind of was afraid of public speaking and I had like an anxiety there. But we did good exercises, and after I felt more comfortable talking publicly. So there was a good PDP seminar for me.
Yeah, thank you. And Karinka, for you?
I would also say presentation skills was really interesting for me because I faced the same problem. I had trouble with public speaking, and that really helped me understand how my body language actually affects, the message that I'm trying to get across. But also team building was a really fun PDP seminar. It was more of an interactive seminar. So we, instead of, sitting and listening to the guest speaker, we were in groups carrying out activities, trying to figure out the best way to, get an activity done. And that's important because when it comes to project week or different type 2 exams, which could be group assignments, it's really helpful to understand how to work in a team.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, I can say that for each seminar you learn something new. So really please join and learn every time it's something new to you. Career Services. Of course, we have in-company training and work placement preparation module. So when you do your internship, you basically work for a company, but you're just an intern there. And to get this internship, you have to know how to approach the company, how to write your CV, what to emphasize in your recommendation letter. We provide all this information at Wittenborg. We have the specific modules. We can give you feedback, what you have to improve or what is better, also where to search for a job. We also have specific platforms like Hosco or Wittenborg Connect. Hosco is specifically for hospitality positions. Wittenborg Connect, we have it for our current students, for our alumni. So they can coach each other, they can share experience, where to find the jobs. We share open positions because we work with, we collaborate with different companies, and when they get free positions, internships, they approach us to let us know that yes, it's open, our students can apply. Also, we have the Wittenborg student staff Facebook closed group. So when you become a student at Wittenborg, you can always join this group. And of course, we also share different positions, different information, which can be beneficial to you in this group. Also, when you graduate, you apply for the orientation year visa. It's 1 year visa, and during this year, you can search for a job. You can work for a company, of course, if you found a job during your studies. And after this year, you can change your visa to the highly skilled migrant visa. But for this visa, you have to find a company who is going to be your financial guarantor. So it's a bit different procedure, but still you can stay here as a highly skilled migrant after this orientation year. So from my side, from my experience, I always say our students, we provide you with all information you need. We organize different events on campuses. We also send monthly email newsletter explaining where exactly in the Netherlands, what kind of workshops, networking events we have. You're always welcome to join. Take initiative, go there. If you see any announcements around the campuses that the teachers invite you to attend this event or this event, just go. It's always something new. You're going to learn, you're going to build connections, which is also important here in the Netherlands. You never know, maybe somebody will be your future employer, so you can you can find somebody as well. Attend the PDP seminars, improve your skills, learn second language, be motivated, and it will be way easier for you when you follow our tips and instructions. So now we are moving to the Q&A session. Yanti, do we have any questions?
Yes, definitely. It's about going backward to the previous section, but I think we should discuss this one. So students is asking, what is top-up program? Why do people do top-up program?
Okay, so top-up program is a last year program. So bachelor program can be 3 or 4 years. Yeah, so if you already have studied back home or in a different country, doesn't matter, and you already obtained 160 credits, in different words, you already passed the modules, you already have some grades from previous university, then you can just join directly to the last year. So you don't have to start from the first year and up to the second year and third year. No, you directly go to the last year, and you complete your last year here at Wittenborg, and you get diploma from Wittenborg that you graduated. And you have our diploma.
Yes. So, for example, a student has a diploma, and then he or she apply for the top-up. What kind of degree he will get? Because the top-up is only 1 year. Will they also get a bachelor degree?
Yes, they receive the same bachelor degree as the students who start from the first year. Just because you already obtain these credits or you follow these modules programs in different universities, it means that you already have this experience and you just complete your level by following this last year program.
Okay, thank you, Irina. And then there's a question from Andrea. A double degree, it's to have a bachelor and master, or does the double degree means?
No, you receive just a bachelor's degree, but from 2 different universities, because as I mentioned earlier, you have to submit your thesis or its final assignment, final huge assignment. In different countries it has different name, but we call it thesis. So you write the thesis for 2 different universities, for the Wittenberg University of Applied Science here in the Netherlands, and also the University Brighton University. It's in the UK. So you actually get experience from 2 different universities, because the programs taught by teachers from Wittenberg and also from Brighton. This is only for the last year, because first and second year you have the same classes as for the rest. In the last year you work a bit harder than the rest, but you receive 2 degrees, 2 bachelor diploma, right? And sometimes I get the question, but what is the benefit for me to get 2 diplomas if I can have one? Yes, of course you can have one diploma, it's also enough, but I think it's not a bad thing to have 2 bachelor degrees in your CV. And of course, when you search for a job and somebody says, okay, this student has 2 diplomas, it means that he really or she really pushed hard to get it, because it's not that easy to study. Of course, you complete your studies, everything, but you really have to work hard to get it. But if you want to get master degree can be obtained only when you finish your bachelor degree. So first bachelor, and only after you move to master.
Okay, thank you, Irina. And another question from Sa. in the third year, will students also have classes or only internship and their thesis?
They do have classes, but the last year is built in this way. So you have classes, and after you have some time for your internship and for your assignment. But maybe Karinka can explain also, as she is a final year student, right? Can you share how does it work for you?
Yes. Yes. So it's divided in a way where you can follow modules from block 1 to block 3 or from block 5 to block 7. And then, so for example, I'm following my modules right now, and I started my first set of final modules in block 5, and I'm finishing them this block, which is block 7. So the next semester, which is block 1 to 3, I'll be working on my internship and graduation assignments.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So you will have some modules still, and when you don't have modules anymore, you have some time to complete your internship and to write your thesis. Some students, they can start the internship during the time when they still have modules, but then you have to combine it in this way that you don't miss your modules at all. So you have to come to the university, and in this case, you can do your internship like part-time, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. It depends on the company as well where you do the internship. Some companies are very fine to have you 1-2 days a week. Some companies want students to be present 5 days a week. So if you find your dream company and they want you to have to be with them 5 days a week, then of course you have to wait for that time when you don't have the models anymore. So you can be fully dedicated to your internship and to write your thesis. Yeah.
Okay. Also from Sa. So he got a notification from us already that he can directly start from phase 2. So how long does it take him to get the bachelor degree? Because the bachelor is 3 or 4 years, but he's starting phase 2. So how long does it take him to finish the bachelor?
Okay, so if you choose a fast track, which means 3 years program, then you are joining block. You're joining year 2, so that means you have to do your year 2 and year 3. So it will be 2 years for you to complete your bachelor degree. In case if you choose a normal track, not fast track, it's 4 years in total. Then you still have to study 3 years. But I think that somehow you will be choosing a fast track, which means it's year 2 and year 3. So 2 more years and you are free.
Okay, thank you, Irina. Now I'll move on to the question about the career services.
Yeah.
So a question from Carla: can students do internship abroad, outside the Netherlands?
Yes, they can do the internship outside the Netherlands, but of course, again, it has to be when you don't have the classes anymore. So you're free for this period of time, and also it has to be an international company. It shouldn't be your family business, so you're not going to do the internship working for your father or your mother. We have specific requirements, but yes, you can do your internship abroad.
Okay, and also just keep in mind that if you're international students, you might need additional visa if you want to do your internship abroad. Okay, a question about from Sah, sorry. Will the university help with finding the internship?
So we provide also information. We provide information where, which websites you can use for searching the internship. If you connect on Wittenborg Connect or HOSCO or Wittenborg Close Group, you can see all the positions we share. So in this case, of course, we support you. If you're doing good and you are good students, and of course you can get recommendations from our teachers, and they can tell you, okay, maybe in this company, or advice to go to this company, because somehow we already know in which companies our students might complete their internships or something like this. So we will assist you, but to give you the internship, no, we will not do it. So you still have to do it on your own. You have to send the resume, you have to go through the interview, you have to show the interest, to the company to hire you.
Okay, thank you, Irina. Also, another question. What's the work opportunity after graduation? Also, question from Saf. So, just for international students, we gave the Dutch classes, but I mean, in 3 years, it is not possible to become suddenly a Dutch native speaker. What's the opportunity for the international students to find a job in the Netherlands after graduation?
So I can say it's hard, but it's possible. So you have to be ready that when you graduate, or even when you're doing your last year, you have already to be prepared to send your to apply for different positions for different jobs, right? To be hired in the company, you have to go through many interviews because we have many people who apply for the same positions. That is why I said that you have to follow also instructions we are saying, or to attend workshops, or to build network here in the Netherlands to make it easier for you after the graduation. From my experience, the students who wanted to stay here, who wanted to get a job here in the Netherlands, they did it and they got the jobs and they stay here. So if you work hard, you can do it.
Okay, thank you, Irina. Last question from this section. If you start from SEPNEP, by the way, if you start a company, can you be entitled to highly skilled migrant visa after the orientation year? What are the requirements?
I think this question is more to you than to me.
Okay. So there is a possibility. So instead of the highly skilled migrant, you can apply for the startup visa. So there is different type. The specific requirement you do have to check with the embassy because they will ask you for specific business plan. There will be also a designated like a supervisor from the immigration office to check your business plan. You really have to have a very clear business plan and why you think this business will be successful in the Netherlands. You need to have sufficient capital, then you can get a startup visa. So there is a possibility to apply for the startup visa.
Yes, it is possible. And what I want to add from my side, we have one student from Ukraine. She graduated last autumn, and she opened her company here, so she stays here with a startup visa. Yes, it is possible.
Thank you, Irina. I don't think I have further question though from this section, so we can move on to the next one.
Okay, next one. So we are moving to the student experience. Of course, you are a student. You work hard. You attend the classes. You complete your assignments. But besides this, we all are people. We all are humans. We want to have some fun, and we have our life after school, right? So as we have Karinga from Apeldoorn and Nicholas from Amsterdam, I hope they can share how it goes for them, the student experience. Karinga, for you in Apeldoorn, how does it work?
So in terms of the student experience, we've got multiple events that the university organizes through Swift, and this is a really good chance for you to socialize with people that you don't normally see in class. So we are divided into 4 pathways, right? So we get to then meet up and do all these fun activities like karaoke, or we have bowling events. And especially if you're a new student, it's really great for you to meet other people here and socialize and everything. And the city itself in Apeldoorn, it's a really quiet city, but you've got decent nightlife, you've got multiple events that are going on here as well. So as a student, it's a really good city to live in.
Okay, and what kind of how much you spend approximately per month you need in Apeldoorn?
So on average, I spend around 300 euros a month on my food and on my other expenses. Rent-wise, right now I'm living with 2 of my friends at a flat, so I pay around 300 for my rent as well. So in total, maybe around 600 to 650 a month.
Okay. And do you have any sport activities in Apeldoorn? Cinema?
In terms of sporting activities, there's gyms and multiple clubs that you can join. There's football clubs, there's tennis clubs and everything. So.
Okay, thank you. Nicholas, for you, your experience living in Amsterdam?
So first about the campus, I have to say it's really nice because it's pretty small. I think we're around 80 people or something. So you know everybody, and it's really nice to have like a community there. And yeah, Amsterdam itself, the city is pretty amazing in my eyes. It has many parks where you can chill. Then vibe in the city because of all the small bridges and the river. I think it's called Gracht in Dutch. I don't know if you know the word. It's a pretty nice vibe. Then not far away is the beach. There are a lot of museums like the Van Gogh Museum, but yeah, personally, I don't like to go to the museums, but yeah, some people do. Yeah, and also it's just a nice big city where you can do a lot of shopping.
And regarding your expenses, is it different from different cities? Very expensive? And we are not talking about accommodation, just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in general, I would say Amsterdam is quite expensive, but it's still affordable. But yeah, it also depends on how much party you are doing. If you're not like that of a party person, it's rather cheap. But yeah, I think I go at least once a week, like before Corona, to party, and then in the end of the month, I think I had like 400 to 500 euros of expenses.
Okay, thank you. And for those who are not a party person, if you talk about expenses, just regular expenses, then the prices are the same in all the cities here in the Netherlands, because we have the net of supermarkets, and the prices are exactly the same. Doesn't matter where you live in Apeldoorn or in Amsterdam. But of course, if you would like to go to the restaurants, bars, to do sports or whatever, then you have to take these expenses into account. And now we are moving to the session part about the accommodation, because as I mentioned earlier, we provide accommodation to the students who are studying in Apeldoorn. So when they arrive, we meet them at the airport. We bring them to the dormitory or to the houses. Doesn't matter where you're going to live, but just to know, we have different types of accommodation. And in Amsterdam, we do not provide accommodation. Our students have to search for the accommodation on their own. However, from our side, we support the students when you are still applying for the program, for the studies. We provide the links, different suggestions where you can find your accommodation. And of course, it depends on your needs and expenses, right? How much money you have. But let's see what Karinka says about accommodation in Apeldoorn.
So when I first moved here, I was in student accommodation here in Apeldoorn, and it's the one that's in the centrum. So it's really close to the university, it's close to the supermarkets, it's close to the shops and everything. The accommodation itself, you get a nice room for yourself, so you have your privacy, but then you've also got common areas like the kitchen and the dining room. And it's really fun because you get to socialize with everyone, and also when it comes to things like exam week, you have this opportunity to kind of do group studies with everyone. And it's a good experience, because when you first come here, it's nice to have people around you who've been here, because they'll show you around the city, they'll tell you how to, get everything that you need.
Okay, thank you. And Nicholas, how did it work for you?
So yeah, I'm actually a bad example because I got my accommodation through connections. But yeah, Amsterdam is kind of difficult to find something. You really have to search through the portals and compare each offers. It's quite expensive. But yeah, what really is pretty cool in Amsterdam is the student hotel. It's a really cool vibe there. There are a lot of fun international people, and they do like every week events where people come together. So if you're new in the city and you want to meet fast new people, then you should go there, because that's the hotspot where everybody goes.
Yeah, and what kind of accommodation do the students usually have in Amsterdam? Studios, or they rent a room or an apartment?
Yeah, mostly like studios. There are some, like for example, Holland to Stay. They provide like small rooms where you have like your own kitchen, your own bathroom on like 25 quadrat meters. I don't know, how's it called, meter per square? But yeah, it's still expensive. I pay now 750 there, and yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Also, for the students who are going to study in Amsterdam, Of course, I think for you it's better to live in Amsterdam, but some of our students, they live nearby. So you still can come by public transport because we have great connection with trains and buses, and you can cycle, of course, because bicycles are everywhere. So it depends on your preferences and, of course, on your budget. So yes, questions.
I think you discussed this already, but just need to emphasize. So Sapnam is asking if you provide like a recommendation links for accommodation in Amsterdam.
Yes, we do. So when you're going through the application process, when you're already on the last stages, we provide the links of different websites or different companies who provide accommodation, and of course, it depends on you. Are you going to contact them or no? But of course, before you arrive, you already have to have your accommodation ready, because if you come to the campus with your luggage, they cannot accommodate you. We have all beds here, nothing like this. So please start as soon as possible. But yes, we provide the links. We cooperate with some organizations who search or who have accommodation for the students, and you just apply there, and you you get whatever you want or whatever you can get.
Okay, so so for example, I'm going to study in Amsterdam. So should I start arranging my accommodation when I'm still back home or when I arrive in the Netherlands? So
No,
how
no,
long is
no.
the process normally?
Yes, of course, you have to start when you're still back home, and as early as possible. So as soon as you know that you let's say you're starting in block 2, right, in October. So you know that in October you have to have your accommodation already. It can be spring, it can be summer. Please search already for your accommodation, because many people rent out the apartments or the studios or the rooms in advance. So you can see, if you go on the website, you can see, okay, this room will be available in 6 months. Okay? So you already can arrange it, and when you come, you have this accommodation. Because if you wait until the last minute, it's very, very small chance to get something. Or if you get, it will be very expensive. If you have enough money, of course, it's good. No problem. But for those students who have limited budget, as early as possible, please.
Okay, thank you. And a question from Sa: what's the cost, the accommodation fee in Apeldoorn?
The accommodation fees in Apeldoorn will be explained later in the admission part, so you will see how much you will spend.
Yes. A question from Satnam. Is accommodation guaranteed throughout your whole study in Apeldoorn once you enter?
Yes, it is, but it's for first 4 months. You have your accommodation, and after, usually the students, they cooperate and they search for the accommodation. Kavinga, can you tell how did it work for you? So you had your accommodation at the beginning, and after, what happened after?
What we did was then found an apartment of our own in the center as well, so that when our contract ends for 5 months, we had a place to go to, and that's where I'm currently living as well.
And how much do you pay for your current accommodation?
I think in Apeldoorn you can expect to pay about 300 to 500 euro per month, depending on the size of the room, the location, and also if it is including electricity, water, and internet, or it's excluding. But I think around 300 to 500 euro a month minimum. A question from Sapnem: what happens if the education is online? Do you still pay the full rent if you cannot arrive from your country as a first-year student? So I'm just gonna help this one. So yes, we know that currently the education is online, but we hope in August we can have a classes again back in the building, like half online and then half in the classroom. But if you're still back home, you can follow it online, and you can use your accommodation once you can travel in the Netherlands. We know that for some country, might be possible that your country is still locked down, or it is not possible to travel, then you can start online and we will keep your accommodation. So we will start counting your accommodation once you arrive in the Netherlands. Yeah? Yes, Irina, I think I discussed all the questions from this section. I think we can move on to the next one.
All right, thank you. So the next session is about our admissions, and Ashen will explain more.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Ashen. I'm from the admissions team in Wittenborg. I will briefly walk you through with the admission process, and also I will let you know. I'm pretty sure all of you have questions with the current pandemic, things that have changed. So hopefully by the end of the presentation, I have answered all of your questions. Before we start, if you still have any questions and if you do not remember any questions and if you couldn't ask during this presentation, feel free to email us for the admissions@wittenberg.eu. Me, myself, or my colleagues from the admissions team will definitely help you out. Okay. So, as my colleague mentioned, we have 6 intakes. So because of that, we do not have a specific deadline. So if you want to get into the preferred intake, just send us your application 6 to 8 weeks before the preferred intake. And this whole 6 to 8 weeks is from the day you submit the application and to get your passport visa. Okay, so first 2 to 3 weeks, we will work with you and we will exchange information. Don't worry if you're missing any documents, do not worry about it. Send us documents that you have, and we always let you know what you're missing. So we guide each of you to complete your application. So don't worry if you don't have information. Let us know and tell us, and we will definitely there to guide you. And once we evaluate your documents, and we will let you know that you are eligible or not, and then we will invite you for a short intake interview. And this will be our best opportunity for both of us to get to know each other, to break the ice, and we can share more information. Okay. So once it's done, you will hear from us from registrar department with your acceptance letter, and you will get your invoice. I will talk about the tuition fees in the next slides. So for the application form, we need your CV. Make sure you have all the information in your CV and has to be the most updated one. If you have any study gap, please do mention. We want to know what you have been doing those days. So don't worry if you have any study gaps, just mention us. It will not affect your admission. And do send us a good motivation letter, and this will be your turning point. We would like to hear your motivation and why you have chosen Wittenberg, why you have chosen Netherlands as your study destination, and what drives you, what's your passion for choosing this program. And this will be a turning point for you when you are making the decision. And send us all the academic transcripts, all level of academic documents you have. And I know due to the current situation, we are all aware that sometimes getting those documents will be a little bit difficult. As example, you might be you might not have got the transcripts or the degree certificate yet. It might be on hold because of the current pandemic. Don't worry, send us the documents you have. Like I said, we always guide you. And if any documents are missing and the current documents you have provided is sufficient enough for us to evaluate your academic documents, academic background, we will issue you a conditional acceptance letter. So once you provide us the original documents and complete the academic documents, we will make it unconditional. So don't worry about if you're missing documents. And we need all originals documents. If they are not in English, yes, we need the official English translation, except if your documents are in Dutch, of course, and in French. And we require IELTS or TOEFL equivalent. If you are coming from a nationality where your first language is not English, then we require you to have IELTS or TOEFL. And send us your scanned passport front page. This is the only medium of the identification we accept. And make sure your passport has at least 6 months of validity. Otherwise, we will not be able to apply for the visa on behalf of you. Okay. So you can send all the documents to the admissions@wittenberg.eu. Make sure they are all the color copies. And also make sure when you're scanning them, we can see all the details. We want to see all the apostilles and the signatures on the documents. Perhaps some of the nations, still the IELTS and TOEFL test centers might be closed. So don't worry about it. We accept IBT home test for the time being. So if the test centers are not open back home, don't worry, you can take this test. You can take for the English requirement. Okay. And of course, if you have other questions about any of these, please send us an email. Not only this, if you do not know about which intake and the availability, feel free to send us an email, and you can ask us to give you a call as well. We give that extra touch for the students so we can make sure that you're on the right path and you have all the sufficient information. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Yes, so the tuition fees. You can as you can see, the Amsterdam is a bit higher than the Apeldoorn for the pathway EBA. You can see it's 9,800 for the Amsterdam campus, and for the Apeldoorn it's 8,900. These are for per year. And the reason the Amsterdam is expensive, it's the heart of this. It's the heart of the Amsterdam, Netherlands, and of course, in a city, it's always expensive compared to the other areas. So if you're coming in for Apeldoorn, it's 8,900. For Amsterdam, it's 9,800. Also, as my colleague mentioned earlier, not all courses are offered in Amsterdam. So if you have any trouble finding if the program is offered in Amsterdam or Apeldoorn, you can ask us, or you can refer to the application. In the application, it also mentioned where each program is offered. So don't worry about it. And we have half a year and 1 year prep program, which is half a year is 4,500 and the 1 year is 8,900. And also, there will be other charges that will be applied, which I'll describe you in the next slide. And these are only for your tuition fees for 1 year. And for your whole duration, and you go for the next year, it depending on your blocks of remaining, your invoice will be issued. The other charges that will apply, you can see below, is the package fee. So the package fee is the minimum amount that you have to pay. So this package fee includes your first year tuition fee. For Apeldoorn, it's 8,900. Okay, for Amsterdam, it's 9,800. On top of that, you will have 4 months accommodation. Again, it's only offered in Apeldoorn for Apeldoorn students, and you will have 1 year tuition fee and 1 year health insurance. Of course, you cannot come into Netherlands if you do not have health insurance. So you will have this charge on your invoice as well. Then you will have ICT resources, study materials, and library usage. Students do not have to buy books. You can rent the books from our library, so you don't have to worry about it. All the materials are available from us. And there will be a one-time charge of a visa application administration cost. Since we will be applying on behalf of you with the Dutch immigration, you don't have to worry about it. You will see this one-time payment on your first invoice. And then there will be another one-time payment of a student deposit, which is 900 euros. Of course, it will be refunded back to you after graduation. So few more important things. Since we are applying on behalf of you with the Dutch immigration, you don't have to worry about the visa process. We will apply once this package fee is paid, which is the minimum amount. That means Apeldoorn is 13,880 and for Amsterdam, it's 12,580. Once you pay this amount, we will apply behalf of you with the Dutch immigration. Of course, some of you might have questions that due to the pandemic, things have changed. As my colleague mentioned earlier, the studies are not on hold. It goes on as it is. But however, if you can't pick up the passport, visa, don't worry. Just study online, continue everything as online as it is. When everything is go back to normal, when you can travel, it is safe to travel, we will let you know, and you can go and pick the passport or even to make the appointment with the local embassy. So don't worry. Just for the time being, once everything goes back to normal, when the Dutch government lets us know that you can resume, and when your embassy is open back home, yes, we will work with you, and you can get your visa and come here. Okay, so if you still have questions, please let us know. And also, if you notice that Amsterdam is a little bit slightly the package fee, the reason is that we do not offer the accommodation for Amsterdam, so that's why it's 12,580, and for Dudron is 13,880. And so I believe those are all the materials. And if you still have any questions, yes, you can send us an email, and we will be there to help you out. And all the documents, everything is available on our website. Even if you have questions or if you can't find them, yes, send us an email or let us know. We will help you out. Okay. So also one more thing about the scholarships. You can look into our scholarship programs, and more information available on our website. Let us know. And we have a few scholarships available, such as OTS, Holland Scholarship, and also the Wittenborg funds, such as Gold Fund, Silver Funds, and Bronze. So you can look into those. Our scholarships are not fully funded; they are partial scholarships. So if they applies to you, you will still have to finance yourself, and you have to let us know how you're going to finance the rest of your studies. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to type, and we will help you out.
Ashyan, sorry, in the previous section,
yes.
Some of the students also asked about I think because you are in the admission department, so I just want to put the question to you. So from Andrea, what's the possibility for credit transfer? So she has done a few semesters back home,
yes.
and she wants to continue with us. Is that possible? And how's the
yes
process?
It's a very good question. Yes, of course it's possible. Send us your transcripts and all the courses that you have taken, and we will evaluate them. That's the first 2 weeks. So when you send us the application, we do not just evaluate your documents. We will also let you know what other options that are available for you, such as in this particular case, if you are eligible for phase 2, not just to start from year 1, we will definitely let you know. And once you send us a motivation letter, we will work with you, and we will let you know, looks like you can come in for this program. It seems you're interested in this. So we work with you to find out where your best fit are in this program. So yes, we will let you know. You don't have to worry about it.
And another question from Sa for the part-time job. He's asking, is it difficult to get a part-time job, and will it, like the salary from the part-time job, will it be sufficient for the living?
Okay. Yes. So a couple of things. One, international students are allowed to work 16 hours here in Netherlands as part-time. But however, I do have to let you know that working part-time will not be sufficient to cover your living expenses or your tuition fees. If you do let's do the maths, since you can only work 16 hours, your income will be about maximum of 300 euros. But the living expenses, according to Dutch immigration, is 700 per month, which is for ideal student. So you can see it will not be sufficient to cover your living expenses. But however, if you're looking for experience as a pocket money, yes, this will be a good opportunity for you.
Andrea is asking, which transcript are you asking?
Okay.
Go on.
Yes, I might not have give you the right information. I mean, it might be confusing. So transcripts, some students have taken HND, Higher National Diploma, instead of high school. So when you get a degree certificate, you will get those transcripts. So the courses you have done. So those are the transcripts that I was referring to. And if you have high school certificate, then we need the courses you have done and the official issues, of course, and the certification, high school certificate.
Okay, yes, that's clear. So if, for example, student has done not really per se a diploma or HND, but they have completed like few semesters in the university, they can also provide
Yes.
their university transcript. Yeah, so unfinished bachelor program, for example. Okay, question from Joanna. What does it mean? What does partial scholarship means?
Okay, so our scholarship, if you look into the OTA scholarship, for example, if you apply for it, it's 7,500 euros. And our Wittenberg funds are starting from, it ranges from 1,000 and so forth. So it only covers a part of your tuition fee. It's not the complete tuition fee. So that's what I meant by it's a partial scholarship.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So partial scholarship only cover part of the tuition fee. Other living expenses will be paid by the students.
Yes.
Question from Sa. Now in this pandemic situation, if I want to get myself admitted in Wittenberg, then I do have to start my classes through online, or will I be able to come to the Netherlands?
Okay. I see that you still have, my apologies for that. So I still see that you have not clear. So okay. So the education will be continued as it is. So you will be studying online. Since it depends on your country, if the travel restrictions are there and you cannot travel, you cannot go for the embassy because embassies might not be functioning as it is. They might be closed. Might not be open for the public. So in such a case, how the visa works is that first when we apply for your visa, it will be evaluated and it will be there's something called long-term visa which you need because you will be staying more than 3 months here in Netherlands. It will be approved by the Dutch immigration here in Netherlands. Then we will let you know. You have to go and make appointment for the local authority of back home to give you a passport and for the interview. This section might not, this step might not be possible right now. So because of that, you will study online. Once your embassy is open, we will let you know your embassy is open. You can go and pick the make appointment. So yes, you will be studying online for the time being. Once everything goes back to normal, you will have to come here because our studies require a physical attendance.
If it is possible for you to travel to the Netherlands and if the Dutch embassy is open in your home country to pick up your visa, yes, you can travel to the Netherlands. I mean, after the 15th of June, because currently the border is closed. But start from August this year until next year, I think for 1 year, the classes will be parallel. So it is possible for you to start online, like to join online or to join in the classroom. So if it is possible, the situation allows you to travel to the Netherlands, you can, of course, travel to the Netherlands and join the classes in the building. But if it is not possible, you can also join it online with the live streaming. So yeah, it's depends on your situation because some of the country it is not possible for them to travel outside of their country. So well, yeah, it depends on your country situation. So yeah. So question from Sepnem: is scholarship? When does the students need to apply for the scholarship, and based on what is it decided?
There are different type of scholarships, so such as the Wittenberg funds. It depends on your performance. And then there are OTA scholarship that depends on your academic level. So the best thing you do is that send us an email and we will share the link and we will share those information and then we will let you know which one that you can apply for. So you can go through and select it and let us know and we will work with you to help you out. So it really depends on you actually. So right now at this stage, it's kind of hard to let you know which scholarship that you can apply for. So we have both. performance, and the needs base as well. We have the both.
Another question from Ali. What about the diploma? I recently graduated, but I did not get the diploma yet. But I have my original transcript. Is it okay to apply with it?
It's completely fine. Yes, you can send us those. But however, we can only issue you a conditional acceptance letter until you send us the original diploma certificate. We cannot make it unconditional. But yes, you can apply with that. And of course, if you do have any questions, you don't have to send all the application documents. You can, if you want to know your eligibility, you can send your documents that you have right now for the academics and your passport front page and your CV, and we will let you know whether you're eligible or not as well. So yes, that's enough for the time being.
Yes, okay. There was a question about the deadline as well. I'm not sure if you have discussed it earlier.
Yes, I saw that. So it was asking when is the deadline?
Yes.
We do not have a specific deadline. We have 6 intakes per year. So all you have to do is select the intake that you want to start your studies and send your application 6 to 8 weeks, like I mentioned in this slide. Just send the 6 to 8 weeks prior, and we will work with you. If in case if you miss the intake, if you miss the deadline, if you do not have the time, do not worry. We will let you know. We do not drop your application. We will let you know, and we will simply move your application to the next closest intake.
Okay. Thank you, Ashin. And a question from Sa, as I'm a top-up student, so based on the result from my previous institution, can I get those? Can I apply for a scholarship?
Again, it depends. It's really hard. So best, what I would suggest you to do is send your documents, and we will look into it.
I think he got an acceptance letter from us already, Ashin.
Oh, he got acceptance?
Yeah. So what does he needs to do now?
Okay, if you got the acceptance, you can get a scholarship, but you have to make sure it's the first year and before you start your studies. So I would suggest you to work with us soon, so we can look into the available scholarships right now, because some of them, the deadlines are closed. So it depends on your country. For example, for OTS, some of the nations already have closed the deadlines. So send us email and we will work with you. Okay, we will let you know.
Okay.
Just make sure it's the first year and before you start your studies.
Thank you, Ashin. A question from Andrea. At the moment, I don't have my transcript because the school are closed because of the corona. I can only have the transcript of my university I'm currently studying. But to be admitted to the university in Peru, like in every part of the world, you have to finish your school of studies. So I think Andrea is currently still finishing his education. Does he or does she needs to really wait until she graduates to start her application, or can she start already?
Okay, you can start the application now, but like I said, it could be conditional for the time being. Also, since if you can let us know which kind of a certificate you will get. So there are, as example, you can name the, if it's a high school, you can name this is the final qualification that the certificate I'll get. Then we will let you know. But however, it depends on each applicant. We can start the application, and if we have sufficient documents such as transcripts, all the documents that we can make a judgment, then we will issue a conditional, but it will not keep you away from starting the application with us. If you can let us know this is the type of education we can get, we might be able to let you know what kind of whether you will be eligible or not. But it's really hard to say without the original documents, because there are many possibilities. So you can start your application, and let's go start from there.
Okay. Thank you, Asha. I think we have discussed all the questions. Let me double check again. So we talked about the scholarship, credit transfer.
So the student has one more question.
Yes.
The instruction of my bachelor degree was carried out in English language, and good one. And I have certificate to prove that my previous university, the TOEFL is still needed. I am now in Netherlands, and my English is very good. Okay, if you're coming, I understand that you are in Netherlands, but if you're coming from a nationality that the first language is not English, and even though your studies are conducted in English, sadly, we still need IELTS or TOEFL. So, but of course, you can send those documents, we can take into account, but however, we will still need English, TOEFL or IELTS as your English requirement.
Ashen, let me add some information. So it's really depends. It's yes, it is based on your nationality, which means where did you do your high school. But for example, Ali, if you have done your bachelor in the Netherlands in the English medium, of course we can exam you. So the safest way is just to send the copy of your academic documents to the admission team, to Ashen. Then he will be happy to help you to evaluate it.
Yes, there are special conditions, like Yanti said. Yes, there are conditions we can accept. Yes. Thank you, Yanti.
You're welcome. I think I don't have more pending question. I think we have discussed all. So I'll give the floor back to Irina. Irina, I think we can close off the session for today.
Yes, but we got one more question or two more.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So the question: can I get conditional admission and I can get TOEFL let? Yes, of course, you can, and we will issue a conditional. And then once you provide those documents, we'll make it unconditional. Yes, it's possible. Yes. And does the advance rent payment start when the student arrives? No. Okay. So the package fee is the minimum amount of payment you have to pay, and only once you make that payment, we will start your visa application. Because that package fee includes very crucial payments such as your health insurance, your accommodation if you're Apple Durham student, and visa administration charge. So that's the first payment, and it is the minimum. Then only we will apply for your visa, and you can come here. Later on, every year, depending on your blocks, we will issue you the invoice annually. Okay. If you you will have to pay the rent, because once you start coming here, when you come to the Netherlands, there are certain documents you need to have it hand. It will take a couple of days for you, a couple of sometimes a month. So that day, that accommodation will start on the day you arrive here in Netherlands. But if you want to take it out and pay it later on, I would suggest you to work with the registrar department. You can work with the registrar department once you get the acceptance letter, and you can make amendments to your invoice.
The question from Andrea. Can you answer it, Ash?
Yes, I saw the university offers English course preparation like pre-bachelor. What that means? So this program is for the students who does not have English language, the IELTS, that's sufficient IELTS, such as 6.0, and this so students can come into this program and start studying. Once it's done, you can start studying, go to the bachelor's program. However, it's send us email. Since we have high pipeline, and currently we have not opened it yet. It's still because we're still on the pipeline. So send us your documents and we will look at you and we will let you know if we have a spot for you in this program.
Yes, I don't see any questions coming. Everyone who would like to get a record of this presentation, please send your email to the admissions and they will provide you with a link so you can watch it again and you can see all your questions answered again. Maybe a second time it will be more understandable for you. Also, you can follow us online on social media. We have Facebook page, we have Twitter, LinkedIn, also Instagram. please follow us, see the updates, see our current students, and maybe it will inspire you even more to join Wittenborg. I also would like to thank Kevin and Nicholas for sharing the experience as the students, because I know it's important for you guys to hear what we are saying as the staff members, but also it's very important to hear what current students say. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you all for joining us today. So if you have any questions, please email us, and you can also reach us on social media. And meanwhile, have a beautiful day.
Hope to see
Bye-bye.
you soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.